Hi, I'm Joe Skiba. Today we're going to take a look at drawing some architecture in the background of this prelim sketch that was sent out to the client. All right, so here we go. Make a new layer here and just fill it with white. We'll rename it first. White. And then let's add another drawing, and we're going to start with our black. Oops. We were going to fill that layer with white, so let's do that. And this is really this white layer, and then you lower the opacity of this guy. Then you can see what's underneath of it. You go to your other layer, and if we rename this guy too, we're just going to call him line. And go back to our black. And I do have a little perspective guide set up. So here's one vanishing point, and there's going to be another one way over there. But I don't. The street is so there's angles in the street, so I don't think this is going to make any difference if we set up perspective points. So we're just going to use this one just to keep our verticals vertical, and then we're going to start drawing here. So I'm going to use my 6B pencil, and in this case, I'm going to set it to 18, and I'm just going to clear out this layer. All right, now if I turn perspective on, you can see here I got my shortcut key here. So in my Procreate, I have a setting that when you touch the screen, it brings up this menu, right? So when I click here, this bottom one says Drawing Assistant. So I can turn on and off. If you look on the top of the screen here, it's turning it on. So it's really easy. Off, on. All right, so let's just draw this. So there's a guy. Kind of a wider element here. Now, they want all these corners curved, but I'm going to do that when we're done here. I have the drawing from the client up on my screen, so I'm referencing that. This is why one of the really great things of like working on the iPad, that you can do two things. I can look at what I need to and then draw. The references absolutely needed. So back to the iPad here. Okay, so we got the first base set up on the buildings here, and we're going to turn on the other vegetation and just sort of see where we are, because these buildings need to sit behind there, and it always looks different when you start to compose everything. So let's get back to it. So right here, we're going to turn off our white layer and these guys, and so here's our building. Let's do a layer mask on this guy, and we're going to hide everything. Whoops, it looks like my perspective assist was still on there, and we're going to hide all of this stuff, at least for the trees. We don't want any of that stuff coming through on the trunks. There we go. Let's turn this white layer on and turn off our guides. And can we actually see what we're doing now? Yeah, so we can totally see those buildings through the trees. Super nice. We can see that we might have to finesse some of the line work and the trees here. It's a little complicated, but let's just go through this process and round off some of these lines. So if we go here, we got to go back to our line layer and erase. Let's just round off some of these guys. Looks like we got to turn off our perspective assist. This is to be round, that's round. This guy's gonna be round, that's round, this is round, that's round, that's round. Basically every corner needs to be just rounded off a little bit. All right, let's keep going. We'll draw down in this area here. Okay, looking pretty good. And we're going to use what we've already learned from these other buildings. Off the model, turn off our white. And again, we're gonna have to hide some of these lines for this tree that's in here. So that's doing pretty good. Okay, so we got the buildings drawn in the background, but we need to massage some of this vegetation, just finesse. We got our basic components in, and let's do a little more fun trees and shrubs and flowers and things. And then we probably still need to stick a couple people in here. So let's just finish the veg part, and we're gonna draw a little bit of this background section. There's actually an opening here, and there's a little park right here, and we want to see some of the sky back in there. The part that's really not great is like right over here. So we got to add some of these elements that the veg, and we're gonna play a little peekaboo with some of these trees and things. So let's do that. We're just gonna turn off this guy. We don't need this text anymore, and this is going to be our veg layer. So let's just go here. We are pretty close to being done here, and I think the last thing we need is a couple more people on the sidewalk. I'm gonna share a JPEG with my computer, and I'm just gonna copy it here. So it's copying from my iPad, export successful. I'm going to go to my Mac, and I'm in Photoshop, and make a new layer, and I'm just gonna paste that in there. So that came straight off my iPad, copy and paste. Easy peasy. So what we need to do, this is like really blank right in here. How do we get these people back into our iPad? From Photoshop, we're going to turn on just the people layer, and then we're going to save out a PNG transparent file, and that file gets saved directly to our iCloud folder. From the iPad, you can pull that file back in. So these are the people, the PNG. Duplicate this, and if you do two fingers, whoops, let me see. If you do two finger slide on this, it does a preserve transparency on it, and I'm going to fill that guy with a fill layer, and then I'm going to clip it so it only works there, and then I'm going to lower the opacity of this thing. All right, and then we're going to draw these people. So we're going to take our 6B, and what size is this? Let's go to a 20. Your percentages on your brush sizes really relate to the resolution of your file. So just because this brush that I'm using is at 20%, if your file isn't a 4800 pixel wide image, you're not going to be able to use the same percentages that I'm showing here on the iPad. And my friends, I think that's just about it. I'm gonna go back to this veg layer and put a couple marks in here. If we go to our shadow line layer, look, so here, just a little bit of shadow. I'm gonna strengthen it by these people. So there we go. The drawing's done, and it looks something like that guy. And we went through, we put the architecture in the background, and then just softened and finessed the veg to sort of make sure all that fit in there properly. Once again, here's our drawing. this is just a sketch. So we're going to send this to the client. They're going to look at it. We might make some changes, and then we're going to go on to the color part. And that concludes our little drawing setup for finishing off this half drawing. And we put some architecture in the back and some veg in there. And I think it's looking pretty good. So for those of you that found this useful, thank you so much. If you can hit that like button, that would be amazing. It really does help me out. Okay, very good. Well, we'll see you next time. Y'all have a great day.